Now we're going to talk about books. So I've been slacking quite a bit this year and have not done any wrap-ups so far, but I really love doing wrap-ups. So I think it was mostly because I haven't been reading a lot or I've been busy. And to be honest, I haven't felt like filming as much, which has been really frustrating because I love making videos, but when I don't feel like it, it's just a real bummer. It's almost the end of March, so we'll just call this my January through March wrap-up. And hopefully I will get back to reading more and doing more wrap-ups soon. So I've read about 7 books so far this year, which actually isn't too bad, and I've really enjoyed all of them, so I feel really good about my progress so far. I'd really love to continue to read more and kind of explore the things that I've been exploring so far this year, which is a lot more science fiction and some classics that are maybe a little bit off the beaten path. Things like that, and to continue to read books by Black authors and other authors of color. The first book that I finished this year was Planetfall by Emma Newman. I just reviewed this on my channel and I really appreciate all of the comments that I got. Like, I don't get a ton of comments on book reviews, but it's so nice when people take the time to say, hey, I watched this and I either want to read this or I don't want to read this or I have read this. It's just awesome. I got a few really great comments on that video that I still haven't responded to, and they just all really made me happy. So if you commented, thank you. Planetfall is about a woman named Ren who lives on another planet with a colony of humans. They're kind of looking for this godlike being that they believed lived there, but there are a lot of other things going on and a lot of mysteries to be solved, and Ren herself is holding a lot of secrets that are kind of destroying her inside, and all of that basically is coming to light in this book. I thought it was a really great representation of someone struggling with mental illness, so if that sounds interesting to you, please check out my review and check out the book. Just read it. It was really great. The next book that I read this year so far is Chocolat by Joanne Harris. I read this book when I was in high school, so it's been quite a while, and at the time I really enjoyed it. In particular, I remember just feeling like her descriptions of food were so great that I could really smell and taste the food, and I really wanted chocolate. I read it while I was doing standardized testing, so super fun. If you've never heard of Chocolat, which I really doubt because it was made into a movie, it's about a woman named Vianne Roche and her daughter, Anouk, and basically they come to this little French town and stir things up, and it's kind of about them learning to settle down and the town learning to kind of liven up a bit and break with tradition, basically. So really great book. Some people have some issues with the book because it paints Catholicism in a very, very ugly light, but I think if you're looking for that, you're gonna find it. I just kind of read the book and tried to enjoy it, and I didn't really have a big issue with it. I was more frustrated with the fact that the narration shifts from time to time to this guy in the town. He's like the main antagonist. It wasn't as good as the rest of the narration. Next, I basically absorbed the entire Xenogenesis series by OCTAVIA Butler. The Xenogenesis series starts with a book called Dawn, and it's about a woman who wakes up to find that she is held in captivity by these aliens called the Oankali. They've saved a lot of humans from kind of nuclear fallout and all of that, and the Earth's apocalypse, and they want to trade with them, aka they want to basically mate and take some of the human traits from the humans and make better, a better species out of the two of them. It's simultaneously horrifying and compelling because there are a lot of things that happen in the book that would scare anyone, and it's just a really interesting look at how humans view different types of people or places or things, and what happens when you force humans to deal with basically the other, or a different person. I definitely feel that out of all 3 books, the third, which is called Imago, was my favorite, mostly because it was a culmination of this series and the narrator's really great in that book. I have a ton of thoughts that I'm going to put in another video probably this week or next week, so look forward to that if you're interested. I highly recommend that you check out OCTAVIA Butler. I'll leave some links below to other reviews of her work on BookTube. The last 2 books are books that I very recently finished. One of them is Giovannis Room by James Baldwin, which is just this amazing story about a man kind of dealing with his sexuality. I didn't know what to expect, but Giovanni's Room, like a lot of classics, was really interesting to read, and it gave me a lot to think about. I also just enjoy the setting because it talks a little bit about France, which I love, and, life in the city and things like that. And also it's just kind of beautiful and sad and wonderful all at the same time. I cannot wait to read more of Baldwin's work. So if you have any suggestions for what I should try out next, let me know in the comments. Finally, on a whim one day, I got Twelfth Night by William Shakespeare and Much Ado About Nothing. I read some of the plays in high school and maybe one in college, but I feel like probably I didn't really know what was going on. And also it was like 10 plus years ago, so I thought now would be a great time to go back and read these plays and just see what I could get out of them. And I read Twelfth Night first. This is really ridiculous, but I enjoyed the movie She's the Man. It came out in the early 2000s, and it made me laugh or whatever, and so I thought maybe I should read Twelfth Night, and I think I made the right decision. It was hilarious, and it was new. I've never read that one before, and I just felt like I had a better understanding of what was going on and what it was about, and also just the humor than maybe I would have had I read it before. I still have Much Ado About Nothing, which I've read a bit of. I also love many of the movie adaptations that have been made for Much Ado About Nothing, so I'm very excited to read that soon, but, not yet. So, there you have it. There are all the books that I've read in the past 3-ish months. I am looking forward to the rest of the year. I'm not really on with my goal, which I think is 52 books again. So I think I'm about 3 or 4 books behind. Not too bad. I have a bunch of library books that I need to read, otherwise I'm gonna have to take them back. And a ton of books on my unread shelf to get to. I don't know if you can tell, but I moved my bookshelf into my bedroom, and so this kind of makes it's hard to film basically everywhere that I've ever filmed. It's not easy anymore. So this is the best setup I could come up with, but you can see my unread shelf. It's the one, it's that one right there. I think I have 40 unread books. So anyway, wish me luck with that. Let me know what you've been reading, and if you've read any of these books or have any recommendations based on what I've talked about. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.